Nobody wants to hear people babbling, so I'm going to cut to the chase. I wrote my speech out right there during dinner, as you can see. You know, Kira, I'm a product of the junior colleges in Arizona. I coached at Mesa Community College for a lot of years, and Joe McDermott brought me up here to be the coach here at Metro State, which was really the turning point in my coaching career. So I owe a lot to her. So I still recruited a lot in Arizona, and my current assistant at Colorado, who played for me, Jason Green, was still in Arizona at the time. And I'm like, is there any players out there? He goes, I don't know if any of you have ever been to, who's been to Douglas, Arizona? Okay, I'm sorry. You know, it's a tough place, and he's like, well, there's a player down in Cochise that I think would really fit in well up at Metro. Her name's Kira Sharp, and I'm like, okay, well, I never saw her play. There's no budget to fly to Douglas to watch. So I'm like, well, let's bring her up on a visit. So, you know, we reach out to her, and there's no budget to fly him in. So, you know, the official visit part of it is I'll pick you up at the airport. You don't have to find your own way downtown. So Kira, for those of you that know Kira, she's a strong personality, and you have a vision of how she is. And I remember I'm at the airport, and I'm picking up some other people, and I can't, and this is really at the beginning of cell phones. Like, you didn't make a call back then unless you really were really to spend the 75 minutes you got a month. So I can't find Kira, and I finally see her. She's kind of standing in the corner, and she's got this stuffed animal or something that she's holding. And I was like, okay. So she comes in, and we train, and I can see the quality. And this is spring of 2004. So I'm like, yeah, she's a good player. We could use her. So we get into preseason of 2004, and I'm like, I think we're going to be really good. And Kira, she's probably going to hate me for saying the story, she needed one more class to be eligible to play. And all she had to do was get a C. So we're getting through preseason, and we're getting there. All of a sudden, it's about a week before our first game, and the grade comes in, and it's not a C. So we're like, okay, what can we do at this point? What can we do? Well, basically there was nothing we could do. And from Friday and then Monday, Kira was gone. And I always talk about my players, and I say, never ever burn a bridge. And we didn't burn that bridge. And she went home, and she was upset, and she was probably embarrassed. I don't know. But I remember I reached out to her mother, and her mother was working at, I believe it was Salt Lake Community College at the time. I said, here's the deal. Kira, this can still happen. Don't go full time. Here's the classes you need to take. We'll still look to bring Kira in the next year. Well, that 2004 team is arguably the greatest team in the history of Metro State soccer. Adrian was the captain. We won the national championship. We won 23 games in a row. And I look back at it now, and things happen for a reason. So we stayed with Kira. We kept recruiting her. She came in 2005. We had a very good season. We were undefeated. We lost in the national quarterfinals in PK, so never really lost. Then 2006 was probably it was a good team, but it wasn't a great team. And Kira really exploded that senior season. And we had the National Player of the Year on the team. We had All-Americans. So we get to the Final Four, and we score late, and then we get to overtime, and Kira scores. So now we're playing for the national championship against Grand Valley, and Adrian was the assistant. Is one of my great personal moments of my coaching career. We get to overtime, and Amira Abel gets fouled about 22 yards out from a corner, and we're looking at it. I'm staring at it, and I'm looking at the goalkeeper from Grand Valley, and I'm going, she's not positioned very well. And I remember going to Adrian, I go, if she just beats the wall, we're going to be national champs. And Kira just stepped up and drilled it in, and we're national champs. And Final Four MVP, and deservedly so. And like I said, we had these other players, but Kira's really carried us to that national championship. And I look back at these moments, and all of you you end up in your life, you never know where the life's going to take you. And I look back at that. If Kira would have got a C in that class, she would not have been on the team in 06, and we would not have won a national championship. So things happen for a reason. Kira then graduated. And the other big piece of it is, I'm the head coach at University of Colorado now. I would not be the head coach at University of Colorado if Kira didn't beat the wall and score that goal to win the national championship. So I'm super proud of her. She still plays. She got her degree. She's just a fantastic young lady, not as young, we were talking about it, maybe as she's been. But it's just, I'm super proud of her, and I'm so honored to be back for these and have recognized some of these players, because it's Metro State. Everybody comes from different ways. Everybody has a story, and I just love the big thing I miss about Metro is it's never just this, and that's kind of the world I'm in now. I love the challenges of finding those hidden gems in Douglas, Arizona, and helping them become national champs. So come on up, Kara.
Sorry. I'm going to direct this somewhere else so I can compose myself for a minute. I would like to start out my speech by congratulating every person getting inducted. It's an honor to be here with all of you other candidates, and I think it's very special that I get to share this moment with you all, so give yourselves a round of applause. I'd like to take this time to say a lot of thank yous to a lot of people. First, I'd like to thank the entire Metro State athletic department and staff, including the time that I was here as an athlete to now. I think you guys have kept the Metro State family running, and I love to see that, so thank you guys for keeping that up. I'd like to thank Joan McDermott. She couldn't make it tonight. She's done so much for me. She's always shown me support. And not just me as an athlete, but the entire athletic department. She knew every single athlete by name and knew where they were from, your whole story. So I'd like to thank Joan. Another person I'd like to thank, he's always shown his support for me and helped me get through. My academic advisor, Joe Q. Thank you, Joe. After I was finished with my eligibility with soccer, I had about 2 more long years to graduate from college. And everybody knows I came to college to play soccer, let's be honest. So I remember thinking after I was done with soccer, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna finish school. Like, soccer drove me, it's over. What do I do now? I wanted to quit school so bad. It wasn't for me. But Joan and Joe helped me so much. They pushed me to graduate. I ended up graduating December of 2008 with my bachelor's degree in exercise science. Thank you. It means a lot. Thanks, Joe. The next person I'd like to thank is my coach, Danny Sanchez. Thank you, Danny, for never giving up on me. As he said, he doesn't burn bridges. That's a real statement. He saw the talent that I had to come to Metro's program and what I could contribute. I'll never forget, Danny called me a diamond in the rough one time. I'll never forget it. As you could tell by my story, I think it holds truth. A little bit about my past. When I was in high school and looking to go to college, I had my standards set pretty damn high. Maybe too high, but I wanted to go to Santa Clara University in California. They were one of the top programs of women's soccer at that time. I obviously didn't make it there. I ended up at Cochise College in Douglas, Arizona. That's where Danny found me, and I actually think that's why Metro's women's program was so good, because Danny was so good at recruiting those diamonds in the rough, if you will. So thank you, Danny, for never giving up on me. In 2004, when I was supposed to be here, it absolutely killed me when I heard that they won the national title. I sat there and beat myself up over it so much. I thought to myself, I could not believe that I just blew one of the greatest opportunities I've ever had in my whole life. As Danny said, I became eligible again, came back. In 2005, we had the best team. I think talent-wise, we were so good. I almost think we were as good as the 04 team. We went undefeated, and unfortunately we lost in a shootout in the Elite Eight round to Seattle Pacific. That was 1 year down. I only had 1 year left, and I thought to myself, I have 1 year left. There's no way that I'm gonna let this national title slip past me. So when 2006 came around, it was my senior year, and I was like, I'm not going out with anything less than a national championship. From day one of preseason, I told the girls, we're winning this year, you guys. I don't know if you believe me, but we're gonna do it some way or another. Those days, we call them Track Tuesdays. They were our fitness days, they were our hardest days. When we were doing 120s, 18 to 18s, whatever it was, we all sat there every day saying, come on ladies, this is what's winning us the national title. Not that day, day one of preseason, that's what's winning us the national title. So we pushed, all of us, we pushed. So I'd like to ask you guys to give my entire team that year a round of applause, because I would not be here without every single one of those players who jumped on board with what I was preaching to them. They jumped on board, so please give them a round of applause, because I wouldn't be here without them. I would also like to thank all those parents that year. They were amazing, super supportive, they came to everything. To wrap this up, I'd like to say a special thank you to my entire family. Believe it or not, I am missing one of my brothers, but I've got 3 tables here that's my entire family and friends, and I'm so blessed. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I can't express in words my gratitude. I just can express it with this emotion from my heart. So thank you guys for being here. Nikki Jones, thank you for being by my side through all this. You support me. I love you. Mom and Dad, you guys are crazy. And these guys used to drive 14 hours to watch me play a 90-minute soccer game, turn around and drive those 14 hours right back home. Unbelievable. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for your patience through all of my mistakes. Last but not least, I'm going to thank myself because I never gave up. Thank you to myself for never giving up. I am a national champion. I haven't taken this ring off since I won it because it means so much to me. I'm also a college graduate. Those two things, no one can take away from me. No one. They don't expire. I have them for the rest of my life. Again, I'm so honored and blessed to accept this award. It means the world to me. So I hope my story can inspire others to never give up. You never know where you're going to end up. So don't give up on yourself. Keep fighting. Thank you, guys.